Hello CNN, I'm Austin Petersen. I'm a Libertarian presidential candidate and I'm running to try and be the nominee of my party. If I win the nomination, I'm going to be the youngest presidential candidate in American history. I believe in free markets, economic freedom, and personal liberty. This is my suite. This is where I entertain all my guests. It's the hospitality suite. And you guys can see we've got it all decorated. Lots of really cool stuff goes on in here. We meet with delegates, we entertain, we have lectures and discussions. Today we're going to have an Ask Me Anything with our campaign manager to talk about the general election. As you can see, we've got security. Chris Sanders here doing some bodyguard work for us. They've got a really cool group online, which is, I guess it's sort of an exclusive group, but they call themselves Tubbies for AP. And they're actually a pretty active group. And this is it. This is where we're making the magic happen. This is where the ground game happens. Say hello to CNN, everybody.
About what's going on here.
Right, so what we do here is we refresh, we relax, we talk about strategy. Generally, the campaign manager is going to be sitting in the corner. He's going to be talking about strategy. We've got a delegate Bible. So what we do is we try and figure out, you know, just about how good the odds are going to be that I'm going to be the next presidential candidate. And so what we'll do is we'll say, all right, this person really supports us strongly, or this person supports us mildly, or this person supports my opponent, or this person might be swayed from my opponent. And by the time we get to the vote on Sunday, we should already know who the nominee is going to be. And I think it's going to be us, right? It's going to be us.
So why are you the best choice for the Libertarian Party?
Because I think I'm the only candidate who can bring together a coalition of not just libertarians, but of the Never Trump conservatives and the Never Hillary social democrats. Why? Because I respect the Constitution. Because even if I disagree with someone, I will respect their right to say it. I believe in free association. I will obey the law. You know, I always said that if you just had a president who obeyed the Constitution, that would be the most libertarian presidential candidate in American history, to be honest.
So what's your appeal to Bernie Sanders voter?
Well, I want to build a wall, but I want to build up a wall between corporation and state. And what do I mean? That means no bailouts, no stimulus, no corporate welfare. I want to end the war on drugs. I want to put an end to the federal war on drugs on day one in office. And some people say, well, how are you going to do that? Well, it's not that hard. You just instruct the chief of the DEA to set the federal drug schedule to 0, ending the federal war on drugs once and for all.
So what about people that want liberal economics policies?
Well, you can have liberal economics, just don't force it on the rest of us. If you want to be charitable to your neighbor, you can do so. Just don't put a gun to my head and tell me that you're charitable because you take from me and you give to another. I think that the government crowds out private charity, and it's time for us to allow the marketplace to work.
How do you feel about Donald Trump?
I think he's probably a fascist, and that's being sweet and kind, to be quite honest. Anybody who says that they want to force a company to repatriate here to the United States is either ignorant or a liar or a fascist. The truth is that Cheetos-faced toupeed man has no clue what he's in for, because when I get into the debates, I'm going to do to him what I have done to my opponents mildly in this debate race. I'm going to cut him down to size.
What about Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton, well, you know, people always say she's got a lot of experience, foreign policy experience, and they tout her credentials, and they say, oh, well, Austin, you know, you're 35. What is your foreign policy experience? Well, I never got anybody killed in Benghazi. Hillary Clinton's got a lot of questions she's going to have to answer, because when I am the commander-in-chief, I guarantee you we're going to get to the bottom of what happened there in Libya. I'm tired of the warmongering. She sponsored the war in Iraq. She's disingenuous. She's not a civil libertarian. She was against gay rights before she was for them. I am the true civil libertarian in this race, and I'm going to cut her down to size 2.
So what does the Libertarian Party need to do to perform well in the election?
Just don't screw it up. All we got to do is be ourselves, because the two major parties are doing everything they can to hand us the vote. We do need to be activists. We do need to get out in the street. We do need to register for people to vote. You do have to do the basic grassroots politics that libertarians sometimes eschew because they prefer to be a debate club. Well, this isn't a debate club. This is a war room. We're going to war against the forces of democratic socialism and nationalist populism. We are not leading an army of hate. We're leading an army of love, because freedom means that we love and trust one another. Because if you believe in freedom, that means that everyone can be trusted with their own self-governance, and that's what I'm bringing to the United States.
Why are you better for this race than other people running for the Libertarian nomination, particularly Gary Johnson?
Well, Governor Johnson doesn't believe in free association. We had a debate, and he says that he wants to force Christians to bake cakes for gay couples. I support gay rights. I think they ought to be able to get married, but everybody has the right of conscience. And I kind of threw out the question to him in a debate, and I said, Governor Johnson, do you think that a Jew should be forced to bake a cake for a Nazi? And he said, yes. That's actually a more authoritarian position than both of the Democratic frontrunners hold. If you asked Bernie Sanders if he thought that a Jew should be forced to bake a cake for a Nazi, he would say, no, because Nazis aren't a protected class. He's running for commander-in-chief. He should know the law.
The Libertarian Party has never performed particularly well in a general election. What's different this time?
Well, voter dissatisfaction. These are the two most unpopular candidates that we've seen in my lifetime, and to me, I think that the Libertarian Party, even if it's not me, has three good, strong candidates, and as long as the Libertarian Party continues on the path that we're continuing on right now, I think we're going to definitely see better results than we've ever seen.
So you said already you'd be the youngest president if elected. Is that not a problem? Is your lack of experience not a burden?
On July 4th, 1776, Thomas Jefferson was 33 years old. Alexander Hamilton was 21 years old. The Marquis de Lafayette was 18 years old, and they had no experience in building a country, and yet they fought the greatest empire the world has ever seen and won their freedom.
Okay. Running for president takes a lot of money. Where you get it from?
The people. Take a look around. These are my freedom ninjas. $5, $10, $20. They're calling me the Bernie Sanders of the race, not because I believe in liberal economics, but because I am getting all of these small donors and people to buy in across the country. I'm the true grassroots candidate, to be honest. And yeah, I am from the middle class, but that's because I understand what the middle class has to go through. I understand the struggles that they go through. And that's why I can look you in the eye and say, hey, listen, I don't believe in a minimum wage. Why? Because that hurts the unemployed, the unskilled, who are unable to get jobs. Because when you raise a minimum wage, you destroy all of the jobs that would have occurred at the margin every single time that you raise it by $1. Also, if you want to raise the minimum wage, why not make it $1,000? How about $1 million an hour? Then we'd all be rich. I think most people understand that that's a fallacy. I'm the only candidate that I think can articulate to the American people and understand why free market economics lifts the poor and the middle class out of poverty.
So the Libertarian Party, what states do you think it can win in the general election?
Utah's looking pretty good. They don't care too much for Trump out there, and there's a chance that if I could go out there to Utah and if I could win that state, I might be able to throw this election into the House of Representatives. The 12th Amendment could be invoked, which would mean that the Congress would essentially decide who the next president of the United States would be, and that could be me.
Is there a way to win this without throwing it to the House of Representatives?
I don't know. The truth is that we need a revolution in this country. We're going to have millions of people and millions of dollars in order to win. And I never like to lie or make false projections about what's going to happen. I have a real strategy always. I will give the Libertarians a chance to win. I will say, here's how we can win the White House. These are our options. But it's not up to me. It's up to the American people to embrace this movement and to embrace these ideas.
So why would a Republican House of Representatives elect a Libertarian candidate?
Because it's Donald Trump. He's not one of them. He's not a conservative. So when faced with the choice of a Donald Trump presidency or a free market, limited government, respects conservative libertarian, there might be a shot.
Are you one of them? Are you a conservative?
No, I'm not a conservative, but I respect their beliefs. And because I fight for the beliefs of people that I don't agree with, those people have respect for me because they know they would rather live in a world where a president is honest with them and who will fight for their right to freedom of association, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion.
So I saw on that sign y'all about to have a cocktail hour. What's going on with that?
Well, I guess we're going to have a little party tonight here. We're going to have some drinks and a little bit of fun because we're still somewhat free enough to enjoy that. And when I'm President of the United States, there might be some other things that we can enjoy too. So look out for that. But right now, unfortunately, we don't want to go to jail. So down with the man.
And what's going on here? So this weekend is what? And so this is your hospitality suite, but downstairs there's something else going on. Tell our viewers here on Facebook what exactly is happening in Orlando.
Well, there's a big town hall that's going to go on tonight where all the candidates are invited. There's a vice presidential debate. We're going to be talking about who the next vice presidential candidate could be. There's about 6 or 7 people who are vying for this. One of them is a former governor, Republican governor, by the name of Bill Weld. And there was this amazing moment in the debate last night. And yeah, I get to brag a little bit. Okay, so Governor Johnson decided that he wanted to have Bill Weld on the ticket. And Bill Weld is notorious for having been opposed to the Second Amendment. And he hasn't really been in libertarian causes. In 2008, Bill Weld voted for and endorsed Barack Obama. In 2012, he didn't endorse Ron Paul, he didn't endorse Gary Johnson, he endorsed Mitt Romney. And then this year, 3 months ago, Bill Weld endorsed John Kasich. So my question to Governor Johnson was, why didn't your VP endorse you? And then he said, well, he's the original libertarian. And what did we hear? Woo! They don't like you. They want a real libertarian at the top of this ticket, and I'll bring us that and electability at the same time.
So if Bill Weld is on the ticket, will you vote Libertarian?
If it's Gary Johnson at the top, I will pull it for Gary because I think he's a good man. He's much better than those other candidates. And also because I've worked very hard to put these people in positions in their parties, and there are a lot of down ballot candidates that I want to help. And I'm going to focus on those races. And I think it's important for us to build up this party and this movement. While I don't think that these candidates are perfect, and I do oppose them hotly right now, I think it's important for us all to come together to fight against the enemies of liberty, which are the progressives, the authoritarians. And that's what I'm telling you right now, is that this is not a race between left and right. This is a battle between authoritarianism and libertarianism, and I think that at the end of this, we're definitely going to all be on the same side.
All right, Austin Petersen, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.